How important is this competition to Manchester United, and will you have any players back for the game?
No, I think no one different is back. They are still trying to recover to help us in the next games. It's really important for us, but nowadays everything is important. The last win, just the feeling of win. The way we work in the next stage is completely different. So we want to go to the next stage, and we want to have two wins in a row, especially at home, and we need that feeling.
We spoke briefly the other night about Alejandro Garnacho. I was just wondering if you could clear up the situation there.
Yeah, he came to me. Was funny because in the next day he came to me to my office. I did some investigation, and he went to the dressing room, changed his clothes because he was wet. He watched the game not in the bench. We watched the game. In the end of the game, he was there, and he went home. So there's not a issue there. But I told them that in Manchester United everything is important, and perception in a big club is really important. So he's going to pay a dinner to all the team, and that's it.
Roy Keane yesterday was particularly forceful about Bruno Fernandes in the way that he tends to be. What is your assessment of Bruno as your captain and the impact he's having on your team at the moment?
Yeah, I heard about that. I have a different opinion. Bruno is really important for us in the club, special for me. He's playing well in the difficult context. He wants always the responsibility. I know that sometimes as a captain he do things like with his arms, and sometimes you see it in the criticizing the teammates. I think it's most of all is a lot of frustration for this year and the last year and the others. He wants to win, and sometimes it's really hard to deal with that frustration. But like I said, everybody has an opinion. Roy Keane has big standards from him in his time, and it's normal to have an opinion. I have an opposite opinion, and I think it's more important, my opinion, than Roy Keane, because I'm the coach, and I think he's doing things quite well.
Ruben, it's been quite a difficult time on and off the pitch for United, and I can imagine super challenging for you to manage through. You've spoken about surviving the storm, getting to the summer. I want to know, has there been any discussions around recruitment, any guarantees for what you will get in building the squad in your image, given the financial constraints?
No, guarantees we don't have. You know the situation of the club. We need to make some deals for make some deals. We know the situation, but of course we are trying to project the next season. We have to do it as a big club, and we are changing a lot of things in our squad, in the academy. We are working on everything for the future of the club. So guarantees I cannot give you. The board cannot. It's clear the situation. We have to deal with that, but we are preparing the next season for sure.
Then how important is it that Dorgu receives support? Only a young player, difficult week. There'll be lots of criticism and noise, as there always is with United, but people need to remember that he's only 20, came into a difficult circumstance mid-season.
It's part of it's like business as usual. Like no big deal. Of course, you don't want a sent off because it's really hard to play with 10 men. Then we lose the player for 3 games. Of course, there is a lot of noise. This is like I said before. It's Manchester United. Everything is a big issue. But for me, it's a normal thing. Try to explain the situation. You already know. You go inside the dressing room. Is really like. He's talking with me without talking, so I don't need to say anything. He's frustrated and he's sad, but he's working and preparing the next games. And we have so many games. We have then in Thursday another game, so we'll be ready for that games, and we wait for him because he's going to be a very important player for us.
Just on the team news and the goalkeeping situation, where no players have come back. Will Andre continue to start this weekend? And do you feel as though his he's suffered not having Altay there to compete with him, maybe because he possibly would have played against Leicester.
No, it's. I think he passed this in the last year. I think I don't know for sure. Some difficult moments, but this season he did some great saves that save our team, and then sometimes have some problems. But that is normal, and I think if you look for our team, you can find a lot of players with that issue. So I think we are not performing so well as a team. And sometimes some players have problems. In the second, people talk about a lot of the second goal. I think from Ipswich, he's waiting for the touch of the lap. I think that is really clear, and then the ball continues to the goal. So that can happen. We just have to support Andre like we support all the players and prepare the next game. Forget about the past and prepare the future.
Hi Ruben. Earlier this week Erik ten Hag spoke about the modern day player being quite soft in some ways. Do you think, even though he's spoken to you about what happened on Wednesday, that Alejandro was a kind of example of that, and do you think maybe he didn't see the bigger picture for the team and why he was being taken off?
He's a young kid that will learn. The important thing is that in the next morning he was speaking with me. I think we need to see that small things, that walking out to the pitch, because Xerxes did the same thing and the context was different, but was the same thing. So we have to understand the situation, the context, the age of the players. Of course, they have to be better. They have to understand that perception here is really important. But like I said, you can deal with that in the next day and move on. So let's just move on.
Just following on from that, Ruben, the players, modern day players now, have to be able to handle criticism better, and have a kind of, you say, a thicker skin, a tougher skin, particularly at Manchester United, because the focus is so great.
I think it's completely different for the players nowadays. Before it was just two newspapers and nothing more. With social media, completely different. They are so focused in social media. You cannot go to social media without seeing a news or a photo, or if you read something bad, you focus on that. You can have like 100 good things, but then one bad thing, you focus on the bad things. So I think it's really hard for them. You can call it soft, but they have like that access to criticism, what people think. That is really hard to deal with that, and they need help to deal with that. So it's the modern football, and they have to be prepared for that.
Last question in this section, Paul. Sorry, Garnacho again. Just to clarify, will he be available for this weekend?
Yes, he has a knock. When he went to shoot, one was blocked almost inside of the box. He has a knock. I expect for him to be ready, but we'll see. I have to wait until tomorrow.
Just in terms of that chat that you had with him about perception, do you get the impression that he fully understood what that means and he sort of buys into all that now?
I think he understands, but like I said, they read everything, all the small things, and then I know the players quite well. I played for quite a while, and I understand they are frustrated. He was playing well, and he has to go off in that moment of the game. So it's hard to deal with everything, but they have to deal with everything. So I'm just trying to help them to be a better football players and understand the modern football.